So I just missed Caleb Dressel winning a gold medal because I walked into the other room. I always miss this guy. In fact, I was saying I had to redo this. He's got that perfect tattoo. I usually dislike tattoos, but it's really perfect. He seems like a good kid. But I'm supposed to be talking about Disney and Walmart. I am watching the Olympics. We have so many things to talk about, and I'm just not. All day I've been just working on these trailer reactions, trying to be calm. With everything going on in the world, with my own life being just at an end. I mean, my road is at an end. I'm still breathing, but my road is at an end. And I've said many times, but so for some reason I have been able to maintain calm. Sometimes I'm too calm, and it really is weird to me, and nobody should be this calm. Okay, Simone Biles has withdrawn from the uneven bars and vault events. She'll be replaced in vault by Michaela Skinner. Okay, so that must be a different day. So this must be Sunday's things, because I know that they're split up. Or unless it's not Sunday. Because the men... Okay. Now I'm confused. Because I looked up the men's, because I wanted to see who was in what event. Because they have 2 days. The next competitions for the gymnasts, either women or men, it's not 1 day, it's 2 days. So, because it's different apparatuses, and they're split up over 2 days. So the women could be Monday and Wednesday for all I know. Because I'm fairly certain the men are on Sunday. So Simone has decided to not do the vault, which allows Michaela Skinner to compete, which is great for her. You know, it's really great for Michaela. Anyway, Disney, Walmart are the heralds of the end. Not the apocalypse, but the end of the United States. Because, okay, so yesterday the President of the United States said that he was going to mandate that federal employees get the vaccine, or they'll have to get tested every week or something like that. Yesterday also, Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney for breach of contract because they, when she signed her deal, she had signed for theatrical release. And I don't know exactly how it works anymore, but I know in the past that, you know, people like Stallone and Schwarzenegger, they had learned to not just sign the contract for X amount of dollars. Because their movies made so much money, they had made deals where they would sign for X amount of dollars up front, but then also a percentage of the profits, and they used to call it points. I don't know if that's how they do it now or how it's called now, but I think it's something like that. So Scarlett Johansson, being the lead of the Black Widow movie, when she signed to do that, which is probably many years ago now, she would have signed to get, if she did sign for a percentage of the profits, and that's supposed to be part of her whole salary, then how much she takes in would depend on box office. But generally speaking, before the last year and a half, the box office just depended on how many people went to see the film. It didn't depend on people not being able to go to the movies because there was no theaters open, or the idea that these big big film studios with these blockbusters would have a big blockbuster come out in the theater and on streaming the same day. Thereby, streaming would not make as much money as people going to the theater, which would then cramp the amount of money that somebody would make if their salary was to include box office percentage, if the fact that there was streaming meant that not as many people would be going to the box office. Anyway, so that's what happened. So today, Emma Stone, who also had a movie called Cruella that came out on Disney streaming. I don't know if it came out in the theater. I honestly don't remember. But, I guess, I don't know. she was thinking maybe she should also sue Disney for the same reasons. So things are moving along, and there's big stuff going on. And then now today, after, like I said, I was watching the nightly news as I usually do at 6:30. I recorded some reaction at 6:30 to the nightly news. By the time I sat down to do the stream, which was really 9 o'clock, but everything got messed up, everything I said is already outdated. That's how quickly things are moving sometimes, and how much everything's changing, and how quickly the apocalypse is coming. But in this case, Disney and Walmart tonight, meaning night, were trending on Twitter together. Disney and Walmart as one topic were trending because they both, I want to say in CMA, I don't know why, they both are going to require their employees, their salaried employees and their non-union employees to get the vaccine by a certain day. One of them was October. I don't know what the other one is. But when I saw that, I was like, whoa, because yesterday when we heard of the mandate for federal employees, I said, well, that's not going to work, because in my mind, people, the kind of people who have federal jobs, they don't take a lot of shit. They got a good job, they want their pension and stuff like that. But of course they're in unions and things like that, but also they do not wish to be told what to do, and they will take this job and shove it, as they say to people. And a lot of them will early retire if they can. I didn't see how that would really work out too well in terms of having enough federal employees to do the job, because I'm sure a good number of them would say, okay, I'm leaving, I'm retiring, or I'm sorry, I don't want to get the vaccine, I will just, you know, I have some savings, or I'll just go get another job somewhere else or something. With Disney and Walmart doing this today, that ups the ante, because now if Disney and Walmart, as massive as they are, do this to, you know, employees who aren't federal employees, and they say, no, you have to get the vaccine, then, like I said, a lot of other companies will go along like dominoes. And if a lot of other companies do that, I don't know how this is going to happen. So I'm sitting here again feeling like, okay, this is the end. This is the end of the United States. Now, they've already, I think yesterday, also Broadway, or was it this morning? This is what I'm saying. These news stories are all on top of each other. Broadway said when they open in the fall, all of their theaters will require the people attending to prove they have been vaccinated. So I'm just sitting there going, I don't know how the people making these decisions think they're going to work. Now, let's take Broadway as an example. Broadway, you have people who, generally speaking, you would think that Broadway fans are decidedly liberal or decidedly Democrats. That's not the case. A lot of people, if Broadway needs to make it, they need people to come in from out of town and go to Broadway shows. The kind of people who come in from out of town and go to Broadway shows have money, have good jobs. A lot of them are Republicans, whether they know it or not. So requiring the vaccine as a business that needs to recover from a year that went very bad doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but hey, I looked at it and I was like, that doesn't make sense. I don't see how that's going to be successful. Same with the federal government. Now you have Disney and Walmart. Clearly, the people who are in cahoots with government in these large organizations feel like if they all do it together, if they all push together, then there'll be no way to resist. We've seen resistances on very massive scales, and if a resistance doesn't come, I'll be surprised. A real one. It's interesting, you look on Twitter And all the comments on Twitter are very much in favor of Disney and Walmart, right? I look on a YouTube video about the federal government mandating it, and all the comments on YouTube are very decidedly against it. So it's interesting how YouTube comments are one way. YouTube comments are very anti-tyranny, pro-freedom, right? And Twitter comments are the ones that show up are often very pro whatever Joe Biden is doing. You know, pro the left. You know, the things the left want. Twitter is. But when you get to the bottom, it says show more comments. Once you click on that, then you start seeing everybody else's comments. So it's not like how they came in chronologically. It's the comments Twitter likes at the top, and then once you click on show more comments, then you get the other ones. You start to get the other ones. But this country has been divided for a long time. Of course, it got way, way more divided when the people who hated President Trump decided to attack constantly not only President Trump, but his supporters and the people who voted for him. And that made such a divide in this country. It's a massive gulf. You know, it's like the Grand Canyon that was created in the last presidential cycle. Now you have the side that has the president in office right now, and they really feel like there's no stopping them, and they can do whatever they want, and they can push everybody else to do that too. And you see, like I'm saying, the power they have to try to insist that people do what they want. Now, it is true that a lot of people who do not want to get the vaccine are also people who would have been, you know, possibly Trump voters more than Biden voters. Doesn't mean it's a straight line, you know, but these mandates coming all at once, boom, boom, boom. They're not going to give them time to play out a little bit and see if anybody goes along with it. They're just going to start, like I said, going like dominoes, where they're really creating, they're like, okay, we're happy to have a complete divide in this country now. It's clear that they want to have, okay, we're the vaccinated people. We're also the people who go to Broadway. We're also the people who like President Biden. This is what they're saying. We're also, you know, the people who are going to be able to work at Walmart and Disney and all these other shops. And the rest of you can all die and not be employed. And because they somehow think that they can do that, and people will be like, oh, okay, well, we won't have our jobs and we'll just sit here and we'll let you do that to us. And I don't see how that's going to happen. Because, let's say all the people, just pretend for a minute, that all the people who didn't want to get vaccinated had somehow saved enough money to not work for 10 years. Just pretend. If the people who want everybody to get vaccinated, the people who want everybody to go along with everything all the time, the people who are like, you have to be vaccinated to go here, you have to be vaccinated to do whatever, the people who want to make those rules, they have to understand that these businesses, Broadway theaters, whatever, the federal government, it can't run on half of the money that it was getting before. The post office, pretend. The post office is a federal thing. The post office can't run on half the employees. Okay? Broadway will not survive on half the ticket buyers. Again, like I said, they may believe that the majority of their ticket buyers are of a certain political bend and will have already ran out and got vaccines. They may believe that, but not necessarily true. So to me, this is an extreme, these last 2 days, an extreme drawing in the sand. And I really hope Disney didn't do this just to try to take the attention away from the fact that they're being sued by a powerful woman who they owe money to. Because I already didn't understand how a lot of these businesses, even the big ones, were going to survive post-pandemic. I know their stock prices are going up, but what about the actual revenue? They can't be making actual revenue. So the stockholders have money, meaning the individual people. But if the company doesn't make money, doesn't that still count? If you're not making money off of ticket buyers, if you're a Broadway show and you're not making money off of ticket buyers, or you're only making half, I mean, there are people, I'm sure, who got vaccinated. I'm sure who want there to be vaccine passports and all those things. And I'm sure they applaud these companies for no longer having people be unvaccinated. But some of those people are still afraid to go out. They're still going to be afraid. They'll be like, oh yeah, I love all that stuff, but I'm still going to stay home. I'm not going to go to a Broadway show because I don't want to sit in a theater with other people. News of the variant spreading among people who have been vaccinated can't be ignored. And again, all these stories are coming out on top of each other, and they're not making sense when you try to put them together. You know, they're trying to use these stories about the Delta variant being spread amongst people who had the vaccines as a reason to get the vaccine. And it's like, that's not, you don't get to tell people how to interpret a story. You don't get to tell people how to interpret information. And I don't think most people are looking at these people. They're showing people who were, oh yeah, they got the vaccine, they were fully vaccinated, and then they got sick with COVID, and they were in the hospital for 48 days. And then they got the lady sitting there who was in the hospital for 48 days after getting COVID, after she'd been vaccinated. And they got her sitting there saying, gee, if I hadn't gotten the vaccine, I would have died. And it's like, that's not a sales pitch. That's not going to convince anybody who doesn't want the vaccine to go and get it. Okay? I think they've already got enough, the amount of people who were ever going to consider the vaccine have got it already. Now they're going to try to force people to get it by way of threatening their jobs. I really don't understand how this is going to play out. But to me, they're saying, okay, what once was the United States is going to be a country of the vaccinated people who are the good people, and the evildoers who are the unvaccinated. Okay? It's going to be the people who want vaccine passports and don't want vaccine passports. There's going to be the people who want to put pronouns in their bios and the people who don't want to put pronouns in their bios. It's going to be this complete and total divide in this country. And the problem that I see is that the people who are okay with this, the people who think they're the good guys, the vaccinated, the pronouns, those people, and they think they either have the numbers or they have an even number. And I don't think that's ever been true. I think that's what the media puts out there. I think that's what their polls tell them or something. But I believe that the people who disagree with that actually have much more numbers. So the people who are trying to make all the rules and trying to force all these regulations on everyone, they think that it's either half or because it's everybody they know, they think they're in the majority somehow. But in reality, there's probably at least a little more than half that don't want all these restrictions. I see people who say, you know what, I'm vaccinated, but I don't think anybody should be forced to get it. Now, those are people who got the vaccine. I see that a lot. Is it everybody? No, but I see that a lot in the comments on YouTube anyway. There are still people who think you're supposed to have the right to choose what kind of medical procedures are done to you, stuff like that. So I can't even enjoy the Olympics because I think they're using it as cover for this kind of... I mean, there are athletes there that aren't vaccinated. Everybody doesn't agree. And you're not supposed to have to agree. What they've done in the last 48 hours, like I said, this to me is the end of the United States. It's now going to be the permanently divided states. And it's not going to be state by state. I mean, we can't all move to a state that goes along with our ideology. Some of us are stuck in a place where we probably don't agree. And I don't know what's going to happen to us. I don't know what's going to happen to me anyway, but everybody can't move to Texas. You know? I feel like there's got to be something universal. There's got to be something cosmic. There's got to be, because things have gone too far in humanity. The divide is too great. The sick elite powers that be have too much power, or they're trying to exert too much power right now. Something from beyond, whether it's space aliens or Jesus or something, has to come, or just Mother Nature. It just come and, you know, something has to stop it because it's gone too far. Something big. If it doesn't, I won't understand anything that I've ever believed. People can't, this can't be done. Nothing has ever happened. If you think to the past, you want to think about Hitler, you want to think about World War II, you want to think about old plagues, you want to think about, you know, the Exodus and the Jews and stuff like that, and Moses' times being slaves and all the stuff you want to think about, you know, all the other tragedies and stuff. Those things happen in a country or in an area. What's happening right now with this vaccine, with this pandemic, happened all over the world. I don't know that there's ever been, like, nothing in recorded history that we know of, I don't think, it's ever affected the whole world like this. Last time was probably something natural, like, you know, whatever killed the dinosaurs, you know, ice ages, stuff like that. So something like an ice age, something like, you know, meteors and asteroids, or, you know, one of those big volcanoes that can just ruin everything. It's time for something like that to happen because humans have gone too far. You can't oppress half the world. How can you oppress? Because that's what they seem to think they're going to be able to do. How can they do that? I absolutely want to be gone before I'm forced to take a vaccine. Absolutely. Okay, I forgot. There's nothing for me in this planet. I keep talking with my mouth full. But like I said, when I start thinking, oh, it's over now, when I think about it, when I thought about Disney and Walmart, I think, I'm like, there's no way, there's no way. There's got to be a revolt. There's got to be something. Something's got to come along and not allow this to happen. Because people The number of people who really think, oh good, now we can finally get all those unvaccinated people to get their vaccinations. People who really think that line of thinking is okay, there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are educated, and I'm sure they're nice people who love their families, but they really think that you can do that to other human beings. And you know, when we look at history, the people who thought that way were not the good guys. Anybody who wanted to force anything on other people were not the good guys. Okay? Forcing makes you a rapist. You force anybody to do anything, you're the same as a rapist, okay? You're a dictator, you're a totalitarian fascist. Anybody doing the forcing, anything upon another human being's sovereignty over their own body, in their own life, you're the bad guy, okay? And I felt a little bit better again, thinking, okay, this is the end now. I feel better. Because I can't see how this can go on. I can't see how this is going to work. I hope it collapses faster than, so I don't have to try to drag on through this. But yeah, I do not want a vaccine. If they're going to put us in gulags, if they're going to execute us, could they do it quickly? Because I don't feel like, you know, existing for 5-6 months and waiting for this all to play out. I'm very tired. I've started talking and I want to fall asleep. Like I'm blinking the whole time. The fans in my face, but all week I've been exhausted. There's so much I should be doing. I've done nothing. I've been oversleeping. I've fallen asleep early, even though I want to watch the Olympics. I've been waking up like 4 o'clock in the morning, getting up to go pee, come back. Then I wake up 7:30. And it's like, I never do that. I always wake up in time to see the morning news of Today's Show. Usually wake up like right before my alarm at 5:55 in the morning and then stay up. And I used to be like that no matter what time I went to bed. And then I wasn't tired. Now I'm just tired. This whole week I've been exhausted. I was blaming the hot heat in the beginning, but the weather did cool and the mugginess did go away. And this morning I could not, I was exhausted. And I slept more than enough. It's ridiculous. So Simone will not compete in the vault. Even that has apocalyptic overtones. You just don't expect it to happen. Something like that. Somebody who everybody expects to come in and win a bunch of gold medals is having to, or feeling the need to, you know, withdraw right before, and she doesn't even know if she wants to withdraw from the whole thing, and she has to see. Everything's so screwed up. I should do a video on the cosmic side of it, on the things I believe about more of the fruity things and stuff. I never get around to doing that. I don't know why, but I don't think anything that's happening is accidental. I can't believe what the people on that side are doing. You know, I hate that I have to be on the side, but I'm on the side of freedom. I'm on the side of people deciding what to do with their own bodies. You know, I want everybody to be happy and healthy and everything like that. I pay attention. I'm not a stupid person. I know how germs work. To me, all this stuff has not been about keeping people healthy. It's been about something. It's been about control. Okay? Nobody wants anybody to get sick. Nobody wants anybody to die. Okay? But I've said my piece. I'm finally watching the medal ceremony that's almost in real time. Are you serious? I used to love the Olympics, and I used to love that you would watch the event and right away you'd see the medal ceremony. Now I'm lucky if the last several Olympics, I'm lucky if I see medal ceremonies. Why does he need to wear the mask up there? And these masks Like I said, they look like Kylo Ren's mask or something. They're massive. I mean, I'm sure it gives them way more room to breathe. But they're crazy looking. Like they have a whole snout under there or something. His eyes are all over the place. He looks like such a sweetheart. Like he looks really, there's something really innocent looking about him. I thought he was gay. And then he had a wife and I was like, oh, okay. But he has that like kind of, see, he has like he has like a really sweet innocent face. Like a cherub if he was smaller. But yeah, it's just, everything is so messed up. I wish I could articulate more, but like I said, right now already I feel like I need to sleep. It's just about, yeah, it's just after 10. Ridiculous. I haven't felt right all week. I've been saying maybe I'm dehydrated. I'm trying to force myself to drink more, but when you're out of it, you're out of it. When you oversleep, you don't drink while you're sleeping. So I don't know anymore, but yeah, Walmart and Disney are really, they're really stepping on the gas in terms of heading us into just complete, we're divided and we're never, this making two groups of the citizens of the United States, and you know, divided between vaccinated and unvaccinated, and the vaccinated think those of us who are unvaccinated are evil, horrible people. And we're not going to go back. We're not going to go back, I don't think. And it's going to have to be two totally, I don't know how you're going to split the country. You're going to split it down the middle. You're not going to split it, you know, horizontally. I mean, like I said, there's people sprinkled all over the country with different ideas. You saw how the election went. You saw how close it was state by state by state. How many states were divided. All the swing states, but even in the not swing states, there were plenty of pockets of people who thought the other way. So if the fighting happens, it could happen everywhere. How are we not going to do? How's that not going to end up happening? Trying to force things into people's bodies. Or you won't be able to have money? You won't be able to have a job? You won't be able to have money? I can't believe we've come to this, but it's here. It's here now. And it's going to be Disney and Walmart that made the real push. Disney and Walmart. Friends of China.